Hello, this is Patrick. Thank you for joining me. I have a couple issues I want to talk about. First, at CNN, they're going to change radically over the next 12 months. This could be due to the judge who made a decision to allow AT&T Time Warner to go through. Now, I asked how legal, what is the frequency of that decision of the judge he made in regard to this for the American people, and it's really super dark. All right. So it was a dark decision. It was illegal, the ruling by the judge, and he did not use the laws of the United States as intended. He was purposely told to do this. It's an $85 billion project, and there could be problems with it down the road. And I think we have really big issues. If I had doused a court case, the problem increasingly, especially these big ones like Amazon, the corruption is just too high. And Amazon, the probability for success when they first started was 20%. And then I had, if he was probably going to make payoffs and things and make adjustments to the offer to make it more legal, and it increased it all the way up to 50%. And then it eventually, by the time it was accepted by the government, it was a totally corrupt deal. So the first reading, that's why I do several readings on some of these rulings where the corruption is really high. And for example, an NFL football game where you're trying to figure out the reading which way the corruption is going to be. And as we notice, um, especially in the playoffs, a lot of the games are rigged. They want drama. The owners of the NFL see the NFL as entertainment. They don't see it as a genuine sports event, but it's an entertainment kind of putting that out there. And for the court cases on these antitrust, we just need to get better judges in there, more clean, as it were. And I'm just saying this case was really tainted. But that said, we kind of, in an odd sort of way, one of the end results is maybe CNN is going to be more honest. And we should start seeing this before the midterms. We should see a more balance versus right now it's this totally radical Bolshevik left. And I have in a year or so a radical change in personnel. It's going to change a lot. And in 6 months, we won't see so much change, about 5%. And then in a year, I forget how many I said. In a year, I'll just do it now, real quick. The people on air are going to be, the people on air, how many will be here in a year? I'm having about 60%. 18 months. It still goes low, 18 months. 40%. 24 months. They're going to get rid of everyone. In 2 years, there'll just be a handful of people left. They're all going. They're all going to get fired, I think. And but we won't. We'll start seeing it near springtime. This spring, you're going to see a big chunk, 40% gone, and then 18 months, bam, 60% gone. So we're going to see a big change there, and we're going to see their content change. And we're going to start seeing the change anyway before midterm, but it's not going to be total. You're going to see a balanced approach. Well, a balance will take it. You know, that's what they're supposed to be. And then next spring they're going to be pro-Trump, pretty strongly. Not 100%, but they're going to be a strong pro-Trump business here. So we'll see what happens. Second, Pompeo, Secretary of State. He's going to be a very successful Secretary of State. And I think this has to do with he understands government organizations. He understands bureaucracy. And being first in his class at West Point, and he's very successful in the Army. And then he's going to go on to his own business. The only negative in him was he started a company and he got some backing, I believe 10% or so, from the Koch brothers. So, you know, but he can we'll overlook that for now. Maybe he can overcome it. And when I douse it, he is very successful. I mean, compared to now, let's just go. I'm going to give a generalized uh, excellent, good, fair, poor, and really critical trader. All right. A critical trader is -7 to -10. A super patriot, successful in the job, 7 to 8. All right, let's go. I'm using that one. Should you give me Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton, whoops, excuse me. Hillary Clinton will be a -5. All right. John Kerry. John Kerry. John Kerry was a -8, almost a -9, which is pretty much a traitor. So he did something against the people for money or power or something, for some other agenda that did not help the American people. A traitor is really bad. That's hard to get. He's right smack in the middle of the traitor category. Who is the other one? John Kerry, Clinton, and Tennyson. Tennyson, remember Tennyson? Tennyson. He did a fair job. So we're really kind of rough on him. It's a hard job for someone coming from the private sector to jump in a bureaucratic job of international relations where, I grew up knowing international. I lived in Africa when I was a young man, and so you just kind of learn it. And the American foreign policy, they don't ask the American people what they want. It's always been behind closed doors. I read Newsweek and Time and everything. When I was 16 years old, and you understand that why can't they get things done? And basically, it's all behind closed doors. It's for the money people. It's about power, and they don't want these high ideals being applied like peace and eliminating poverty. Eliminating poverty in Africa is not that hard. It doesn't take much money, but there's impediments to this. Okay, could you give me? And it's going in a big circle. It's agreeing what I'm saying. The pendulum is just going wild. What I was saying, and that's the truth. So foreign policy has always been difficult in the United States. Could you give me Mike Pompeo, please? So Tillerson was a 0, which a neutral. He was a neutral. He wasn't bad or good at the job. I think he brought in a lot of baggage with him, and he couldn't change the culture. He didn't understand it. He couldn't change it. So Mike Pompeo, first in his class at West Point, all right, and he's going to be he's going to be like a 7 plus. Wow, maybe even an 8. Is he an 8? My pendulum said yes, he's going to be an 8, which is an exceptional patriot making decisions for the average American in foreign affairs. That's going to be refreshing. And it's not surprising Trump saw the job he did at the CIA, and in less than a year he transferred him to something visibly you can see the administration be a success at. And what are they doing? They're cementing this deal with North Korea. And there's a lot more to it than meets the eye, but it's going to go forward. I know everybody's naysaying, no one knows what they're doing, but this is really thought out. I have to sneeze, excuse me. So I wanted to touch upon that Hillary was just really poor at the job, but John Kerry was treason. I don't know what he did. He did something, and it could be related to the Iran deal, all that money. Everybody got paid. That's what the Europeans are upset with. There's a lot of money slushing around. It had nothing to do with nuclear weapons. And so that's what I wanted to say real quick. We're going to see changes. It looks like there's going to be setbacks, but everything's going forward. One reason it's going forward, and I know everybody gets kind of upset, is the frequency is changing. The old paradigm can't live anyway. It's going to happen anyway. You take Trump out, and if you kept Hillary in there, well, Trump is going to make changes where people can take more control of themselves. So when the real changes come, Everybody's going to have self-empowered decisions to make, and they're going to fail or succeed on their own. That's kind of like it. And if we went the Hillary route, the wars would have been off the chart. We would still be bombing Syria. We'd probably be bombing Russia, the Ukraine, the Crimea. I mean, I don't. They had so many people they wanted to go to war with, and it's kind of funny. The Democrats are the war party, and they got paid for it, and they. It's kind of weird. It's you think they're the peace party because that's what they sell. They sell this marketing, and now the old Republican Party under Bush and the two Bushes, they were it was a war party then. You know, they weren't much difference. The international relations was the same for both parties, and Trump is going to change that, I believe. And I'm not a blind believer in the man, but I know there's a spiritual component here we don't see, and it's going to add to his success. And he's protected in this endeavor, and it's going to put the world in a better place for the changes necessary. And we all have to get a little bit more upbeat and pray that he succeeds. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you, Pompeo is going to succeed at this job in a big way, and it's going to be an asset to the American people. He's gonna be pretty good, and I'm kind of surprised so much. He's going to be like excellent. Okay, uh, I had more to say, but I'll talk about it later.